If you've ever said, I have a weak bladder or I have a small bladder, I hear this all the time, and trust me, you're gonna wanna watch this video to learn some of the best yoga poses that you can do to really solve your bladder problem. Because I promise, it's not just a weak or a small bladder, but it could be the muscles that are affecting your bladder from creating that urgency or frequency that you're getting. So as a pelvic floor physical therapist, I see this all the time where women are embarrassed or frustrated. They're having bladder issues, and when they go out in public, they always want to know when the nearest restroom is. They wear dark colored yoga pants. Maybe they even wear a pad or carry them with them all the time. And it can be really annoying. And also you can feel like this is never going to end. But I'm here to tell you some of the ways that we help clients with bladder problems, and it really can be because of the muscles supporting that area with your core, your pelvic floor, your back muscles, how they all work together. So if you've been dismissed by a doctor that tells you you have to take medication or you need a surgery or that's just the way it is, well, I'm here to tell you, be your own advocate. There are plenty of conservative methods and ways that you can do exercises to actually help control your bladder problem. So it's not just a weak bladder or a small bladder, but it really is something to do with the muscles around your pelvic floor. So that's what we're going to talk about today and give you some yoga poses that you can start doing, really the best ones that I give my clients when it comes to recovering that area and helping it get more flexible and stronger and get those muscles working the way that they should. So these muscles, what I'm talking about, are your pelvic floor muscles here in red. These are your hips, your pelvis, your spine in the back, your tailbone. And as you can see, those muscles, they support the bottom part right between your legs. So your bladder, your uterus, your rectum are all within this pelvic cavity. And those muscles, they need to work like a trampoline. They have to support those pelvic organs when they're under load. You're running, jumping, walking, that they have to constrict, but they also have to let go a little bit, but provide enough support and be used as much as necessary, but as little as possible. So that's what it looks like. The exercises that we're going to go through today are going to affect these muscles right here, and also your surrounding hip muscles, your abdominal muscles in the front, and even your diaphragm at the top. When we talk about yoga, we're talking about breathing, relaxing, and really getting the most out of each pose. And therefore, it's going to impact these muscles. Now, I think it's important to note when you have bladder problems, I mentioned those pelvic floor muscles have to work like a trampoline. So they have to constrict and support, but they also have to learn how to let go. And if you've been told many times just to do Kegel exercises, well, many women actually have tight and tense pelvic floor muscles, and therefore they can't fully contract and be supporting the bladder as well as they should. So therefore, the yoga poses come into play with getting more opening through the hips, more flexibility, and not only do you need strong muscles down there, but they need to let go as well. So the first yoga pose I'm going to talk you through is called the chair pose. This is great for those muscles that really work on your core, your hips, your glute muscles, those booty muscles, and everything in this midsection of your body that really helps support the bladder, and therefore you want to work those muscles. This is more for strengthening, but a great yoga pose to do. So chair pose, you want to be sitting back like you are, pretend like you are sitting back in a chair. Your hips are back and your knees are going to be over your ankles here. My arms are up next to my ears, and the goal is not to lean way forward. You want to keep your chest lifted, but you really get the weight into your heels and reach and look up. You want to take about 5 deep breaths here, trying to hold that pose. And that is the chair pose, number 1. Okay, then the second one is squat pose. And why squat pose? Well, this is really going to open up the hips. It's going to stretch those pelvic floor muscles and all throughout the hips where we tend to get really tight. So some people have trouble getting all the way down in this position, like a squat. I'll show you from the front and from the side. And see, my hips are back. I'm sitting back into a squat, but my chest is still lifted. And if this is really hard for you, you may have tight ankles or stiffness in your back. It may be hard for you to get here with your hips. So you can also support yourself by sitting on a yoga block. So for example, I have a yoga block here. I'm gonna put that under my bottom, and that's gonna support you if you can't normally get into this position. I like to press my knees out, hands in front of my chest, and take about 5 deep breaths there, just like you did with the last pose, and focusing on really opening up the hips and letting go through those pelvic floor muscles. If you've ever done a kegel before, we're trying to do the opposite and just let go, and using your breathing, especially on your inhale, that's when your pelvic floor muscles are gonna let go and relax. Okay, the next one is one of my favorites, supported bridge pose. Again, this is going to work on those muscles through your hips, strengthen here, through your core and your lower back. So you're gonna be on your back with your knees bent, and I'm placing my arms down by my side toward my heels, and you're gonna press up, lifting your hips. You're squeezing those booty muscles and taking some deep breaths in and out. Try this. On your exhale now, you're gonna think of drawing those pelvic floor muscles in and up like a Kegel exercise. So on an inhale, I let them go, and then exhale, you're gonna tense and tighten everything from your pelvic floor through your pubic bone and your glutes all together. So I'm gonna work on 5 to 10 breaths here, holding bridge pose. Okay, next we have Happy Baby. And Happy Baby is really a flexibility exercise for your hips. Kind of, you can think of it like the reverse of the squat one we did before, but you're gonna be on your back. I like to grab my big toe and think of an upside down squat. So the bottoms of your feet are facing toward the ceiling, and you want to let that tailbone come down toward the mat there. Taking some deep breaths, remembering again on that inhale, letting go of your pelvic floor muscles. You may feel a big stretch in your inner thigh muscles, which also create some stretching and provide that stretch and release of your pelvic floor if you tend to hold it really tense and tight. Okay, now the last exercise that we're gonna do is legs up the wall. I love giving this one at the end because it's great for stress release, anxiety release, getting that tension out of your body, especially out of your lower back, allows you to breathe. So therefore you can concentrate on letting go of those pelvic floor muscles. It's also great for stretching the hamstrings, the glutes, and those muscles on the back side of your hips. So this is a great one to do if you sit at a desk or you spend time standing for a lot through the day. It's great to do at the end of your day. I give this one to clients that have back pain as well because it's really releasing that tension here. So you can scoot yourself as close as you want to get to the wall. It's up to you for comfort. But from here, you're just going to take some deep breaths, focusing on breathing into your belly and your lower pelvic area. And as I breathe in and out, I'm going to imagine right between my legs, I'm just letting go of those muscles. I showed you on the pelvic model before, we tend to hold that tension there. So imagine on your inhale, it's like a flower opening. You're trying to let them go. You're not bearing down and pushing out. You're just trying to release those muscles. So focus on some breathing here, maybe even closing your eyes, being in a dark room. It's great for relaxing and releasing that tension. But I love legs up the wall as our 5th yoga pose that I'm giving you today to help fix a weak bladder and really solve this bladder problem by not only using your muscles in the last few exercises we discussed, but also how to release that tension in your pelvic floor, which is what I see as a common problem of why women can't get their pelvic floor muscles to do their job, and therefore they have a lot of urgency and frequency with their bladder. So which one of these yoga poses are you going to try first? Comment below and let me know. I love to talk about Pilates and yoga, especially for healing with any pelvic floor issues and women's health topics. If you haven't subscribed already to our YouTube channels, Level 4 Women's Health, hit the subscribe button and follow us here. I hope you got something out of this video, and thanks for watching.